this guy has shown. Let me shut up.
James off the steal. James with the steal.
When it comes to LeBron James, he is someone who has made a name for himself as one of the top people in all of the NBA, as well as one of the all-time greats in terms of NBA history. He has gone above and beyond the call in many respects, and people love him as a result of that. And because of his success on the court and off of it, he has become incredibly rich, which has afforded him all sorts of things to lavish in. So allow us to show you LeBron James's lifestyle and net worth. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. What is LeBron's net worth? Determining the net worth of someone like LeBron James is not as easy as you might think. His net worth is honestly defined as something you have if you sell everything that you have and the total value of what that might be. So you could have a net worth of say $100 million, but what you personally have on you is likely much less than that. So keep that in mind. Anyway, when it comes to LeBron James and his net worth, most agree that it's somewhere between $400 to $500 million, which easily puts him at the top of all active players in the NBA right now, and even above certain legends of the NBA who are still doing work with their own businesses and such. So how is LeBron James so rich? Well, part of it is because of his on-court play, obviously. As the best player in the league by many metrics, though not all metrics, to be clear, he has been able to rake in all sorts of money from contracts with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, and now the Los Angeles Lakers. Just his Lakers contract is well over $100 million for just a few years, and his other contracts had equally high amounts, so that adds up pretty quickly when you realize that LeBron has been in the NBA for a long time. Plus, as you would expect, he has gone and done other things to increase his value, such as his entertainment business. LeBron knows that basketball won't last him forever, and as a result, he has gone and expanded his craft to go into various other business ventures. One of the most interesting ventures is that he is a producer of movies and TV shows in Hollywood. You might remember one of the movies he helped out with in Trainwreck, and he has done many other cameos and other shows on things like HBO, YouTube, and produced other shows via behind-the-scenes work. He is spending his own money to get various shows and movies off the ground, which again shows him trying to branch out. Ironically enough, a lot of people felt that when he signed with the Los Angeles Lakers, his third team during his career, it wasn't just so he could end his career with a legendary team, but because they were in Hollywood basically, and he would use the proximity to Tinseltown to expand his entertainment career. Now, it's unlikely that LeBron will be the biggest thing in Hollywood, and he's somehow thinking that Space Jam 2 was a good idea. It's not. Leave the original alone. It's wonderful as is. But it does show that he has a business mindset, and that is to be appreciated. His family. Another key element of LeBron James's lifestyle is that of his family. He has a wife in Savannah whom he has been with since high school, and 3 children via Bronny, aka LeBron Jr., Bryce, and Zuri. From very early in his time with the NBA, he has gone and done everything he can to be there for his family and be a provider for them. In fact, when he was leaving high school, Savannah was pregnant with Bronny, and so LeBron went straight into the pros so that he could sign the big contract in order to get the money needed to raise a family, showing his commitment to her and their future child in the process. And when LeBron went to the Lakers, he made sure that his kids were put into good schools that could truly help them, including Bronny being put into schools that could further help his basketball career. One that also to be home to the son of LeBron's best friend in D. Wade. Anyway, he does a lot for his family, and he does his best to be around them, even with his grueling NBA schedule. He is loyal to them and puts them above all else. Though that doesn't mean he doesn't spend money on himself. I mean, after all, it is King James. The King's Fleet. Given how rich he is, you'd almost be shocked if LeBron didn't have a fleet of cars, and well, he does. Some only cost him a few tens of thousands, others cost him many hundreds of thousands, which just goes to prove that just one of his cars is worth more than your life. For example, King James reportedly spent $670,000 on a custom Lamborghini Aventador. James had the car wrapped to match one of his Nike shoes, the LeBron James X1 King's Pride Floral to be precise. The base price for a 2019 Aventador S Roadster is a cool $460,247. And again, that is just one car. He has easily spent over $2 to $3 million on the cars that are known to the world. With his newest deal with the Lakers, he can spend even more money on cars, especially as his kids continue to grow up and they get to drive them themselves. Treating his body well, Part 1. No matter what sport you're in, if you want to be in peak condition, you need to work out and train as though your life depends on it. and LeBron has proven time and time again that he's willing to go and do anything to make sure his body is as fit as it can be, including going and building personal gyms in his home so that he can work out whenever he needs to. At first, this may seem a bit excessive, but think about it from LeBron's perspective. It means less travel time, more workout time, and should something come up, he can just pause his workout and get back to it at his earliest convenience. This technique is used by many in certain ways, including Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson having his own personal mobile gym follow him around as he does movie shoots and such. Here is another reason why this is a great idea: the pandemic. When everything shut down, that meant his practice facilities also shut down. But because he had gyms in his homes, he could stay in peak shape, which is why he was able to come out strong in the NBA bubble, and because he didn't have to wait to work out again. But having a gym on hand isn't the only way he keeps himself strong. Treating his body well, Part 2. LeBron James is said to be rather specific when he treats himself via healing techniques. For example, he goes and uses a cryo chamber. No, really, he does this. He super cools his body for like a minute, and it does the same amount of healing as an ice bath in just a fraction of the time. He also goes and uses a hyperbaric chamber to infuse his body with more oxygen. This gives you better muscle output and can even help your mind. And as if that wasn't enough, he gets special clothing to wear to improve blood flow. As we noted, he ensures that he puts good foods into his body and more. Finally, he has a team of trainers and experts to go and help him, such as when he has an injury, which he currently does this season via a high ankle sprain, so that he can go and get on the court as soon as possible. LeBron is said to spend $1.5 million on his body and keeping it treated each and every year. Now that is dedication to your craft. Business ventures. We already showed you one element of LeBron's off-the-court work via the entertainment business that he has, but he does more business than that. For example, he went and opened up a clothing line that has been very successful. He is also an investor, as he's invested in soccer teams in Europe, the pizza chain called Blazes, and more. He is always looking for new opportunities to go and expand his reach and dip his hands into new fields. You almost have to wonder what he'll do once he's retired and has more time to do things like that. The I Promise School. LeBron James is a very charitable man, and he knows how to go and make big strides to help people, especially in his home state of Ohio. This eventually led to the creation of the I Promise School that is in Akron, Ohio, his hometown. The point of the school is simple. It is to go and help at-risk kids in the area and make sure they can get the education they need to live the life that they deserve. LeBron himself opened the school, and 250 kids were enrolled in it during the opening. He has also sold many of his game-worn shoes to help raise money for the school and the kids. So while he is a rich man, he also knows how to give back. So what do you think? What do you think of this look in the lifestyle and net worth of LeBron James? Are you surprised that he's done certain things with his money and his lifestyle? Do you think that this all speaks to the kind of man that LeBron James is? What are you the most jealous about in terms of what LeBron James has or does? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.